Hello. Hello. Are there any people online? Hello. Are there any people online? I'm here for us to talk about forgiveness. If you're online, please, can you make me know so that we can chat together briefly? If you are online, please let me know so we can chat. Who is online? Are there any people online? Hello? Yes, I can see somebody has come on. I want us to talk briefly on forgiveness. And I want you to share the video so that you can invite your friends to come on board. And then we just chat together. If you're online, please, you come on and then you share so your friends can come online. And then we share together. I can see, Clotilda, welcome, my dear. Please share the video. Our topic today is on forgiveness. Forgiveness. I want us to talk a bit on the topic forgiveness. Every day we talk about, I forgive you, or please forgive me. But do we really take it the way it should be? Are we actually forgiving? Do we truly forgive each other? So I want us to talk about forgiveness briefly today. And if you are there already, then we can start. Forgiveness. Yes. Hi, Joel. Hello, welcome, my baby. Beautiful lady, you're there. We are talking today about forgiveness. Forgiveness. Many of us talk about forgiveness every day. We talk to our children. We say you need to ask for forgiveness. We talk to our friends, our wives, our spouses, our husbands. We talk to our friends, our mothers, our children. Every day we use this word forgiveness. Forgive me, or I forgive you. I want him to forgive me. I want her to forgive me. No, God has forgiven us. We use this word so often. So today I want us to quickly look at it. Is it just about using the word, or we want to actually get this word practical? I see you, Dennis. Welcome. Please share this video. I see you also, Esther. Ernest. Hey, welcome, my dear. So forgiveness is simple. It means letting it go. Hey, Christabel, it's been long. I've not seen you for quite a while during my chats. Welcome, my dear. Share the video and comment. We're talking about forgiveness today. And the background is simple. Every day we use the word forgiveness. We say, I forgive you. We say, I need him to forgive me. We say, look, you have to forgive that person or this one. But the question is, do we just use the word? Do we just say, yes, I've forgiven you, or we truly forgive from deep within? That is what I want us to talk about. And what is forgiveness? You know, forgiveness is letting go of grudges and bitterness. That is simple. Forgiveness is simple. Let go of your grudges and bitterness of something that someone had done to you. You let go of those grudges, you let go of bitterness, and you start living happily. That is the meaning of forgiveness. So when somebody you care about hurts you, you can hold on to that anger, resentment, and maybe sometimes you even think of revenge. And then for that reason, you embrace forgive. You forget that you can forgive. But the best thing to do is forgiveness. frees you even more than the other person. I see you, Primus. Welcome, my brother. Hey, Christabel says, Chai, I've missed these streams. Yes, you've really missed. And so forgiveness is just simply letting go of bitterness and grudges. That you have been hurt, yes, but you let go of that. We know that when someone you hold on to so much makes you angry, makes you to feel bad, it is sometimes so difficult, and sometimes you just want to revenge to be able to free yourself. Humanity, the way I've seen human beings behave, is that most often when we are angry, when we have been hurt by somebody, we only develop the spirit of revenge. That is how the human heart acts. We want to revenge. We want to make him or her feel the way we felt. But does it really solve the problem? That is the question. Does it really make you feel better, or it just makes you feel stupid? Because when you revenge, you feel even more stupid, and the hurt keeps growing in you. You feel more hurt. Because when you revenge today, tomorrow you want to revenge again. You want to do something to maintain what you did to revenge. Revenge is like telling lies. You want to tell a lie to cover up. Hi, Dorothy. Welcome, my dear. You want to tell a lie to cover up. That is how revenge is. When you revenge today, tomorrow you want to do another thing to maintain that thing that you did to revenge. And then you see yourself in a web that makes it difficult for you to come out. You see yourself in a situation of always seeking to revenge. And then you now develop the spirit of unforgivefulness, and then you live in sin, you live in hurt, you are so angry and you become so bitter. Then the grudges will make you to look old, not to be cheerful, to be bitter towards people, to resent people for no reason. Forgiveness is key to living a sweet life, my dear brothers and sisters. I have tried it. I practice it every day. And I know that if you do, you will live happy. Because I live happy. When the Bible says that do not go to bed, do not let the sun go down on your wrath. That is enough for us to know that it is important for us to forgive. Because when you don't forgive, you hurt yourself more. You know, after all, who hasn't been hurt by the actions or words of another person? Is there anybody on this earth who has never been hurt by the actions or words of another person? No. The answer is simple. No. There is nobody who has never been hurt by the actions of somebody. Nobody on this whole wide world, in this whole wide world, has never been hurt. So every one of us has been hurt either by the words of some other person, by the actions or the deeds of another person. Therefore, forgiveness is really important, because perhaps a parent constantly criticized you. Some of our parents just criticize you. I see you, Divine. Welcome on board. Kindness, I see you. Hi. Please share the video and comment. We are talking about forgiveness, letting go of grudges and hurt and bitterness. You know, perhaps your parent constantly criticized you when you were growing up, or maybe you have a colleague who is constantly sabotaging you. There's some colleagues who just sabotage you like that, just for the sake of it, or they sabotage your project, or your partner has an affair with somebody, or your partner has hurt you, is disrespecting you, or is just doing things to hurt you. You know, there are times like that. If there is nobody who has never been through such, you know, there's sometimes your partner may be abusing you physically and things like that. So every one of us has ever been hurt. I see you, Peter. Welcome. I see you, Linda, my wife. Welcome. Our topic is on forgiveness. No one of us has never been hurt. No one of us. All of us have been hurt in one way or the other. But here, I am here to say that forgiveness is key to life. If you want to live a beautiful life, if you want to enjoy yourself, you want to be happy, you have to start forgiving people in your life. You have to start letting go of grudges and hurts that have bothered you. Because when you forgive A, B, and C, you also release yourself and you live a happier life. Many people do not forgive. Many of us talk about forgiveness, even in an event where we come together to make peace. We live from there saying we are forgiven, but sometimes we still just secretly hold on to our grudges. Forgiveness means letting go of your grudge and your hurt. That is what it means. And if you want to forgive, you have to let go of your grudge and your hurt, of your bitterness, of whatever made you angry. And then you truly, truly forgive that person and let go, and then you start living a happy life again. Thank you, my son Hanson. Hello, greetings to your family. You don't forgive by pretending that, yes, I've forgiven you because you want to do it for peace sake. Forgiveness is not for peace sake. Forgiveness should be to make you happy. Forgiveness should be to make you and whoever hurt you happy again, together again, doing things together again. That is what forgiveness should be. For peace, yes, but the longer part of it is for you to be happy. Is for you to live at peace with everyone. The Bible says, as much as possible, live at peace with everyone. Yes, Joel says, it depends on the gravity of the problem. Really, some people have hurt me that I have forgiven them, but I will never forget. Immediately I see them, it reminds me of the pain. Yes, I will forgive, but will never like to have something to do with such a person. Big sis, you are right, my dear. I am not saying here that you should forgive and then go back with that person. Depending on the gravity and depending on the relationship you have with that person. If it were a wife or a husband, your spouse, you have to forgive and forget. You have to try to forgive and forget. Forgetting will take some time. In fact, it takes time to forget. But gradually you will forgive and forget, because that is your spouse, and the Bible says you should be clave together and live as one. Therefore, for Christ's sake, you have to forgive and forget. And try to forget. Forgetting is difficult. Me, I've learned to forgive and forget. When the Bible says we should not keep a record of wrongs, it means that you should forgive and forget. It's simple like that. Thank you. Thank you, my dear sister Stella. It is simple that you forgive and forget, because you don't have to keep a record of wrongs. So I think that if you forgive, especially if when it is your spouse, if you forgive your spouse, you should be able to forget in the long term. It is true that it's difficult to forget immediately, but you can, if you forgive genuinely, gradually you forgive and forget, because you will not keep a record of wrongs. What is forgiveness, first of all? What do we think forgiveness is? It forgiveness means different things to different people. Generally, however, it involves a decision to let go of resentment and thoughts of revenge. That is what forgiveness means in a general perspective. It simply means that you let go of resentment, bitterness, and anger and revenge. You know, people, when you forgive and you don't forget, in the long run, you are tempted to bring back that hurt sometimes. And as my beautiful Joel has said, sometimes immediately you see that person who hurt you, it reminds you of that hurt. My dear, I am saying that if it is happening to you, go to God in prayers. Pray over this and ask God to help you to come out of it. I pray that you come out of that in Jesus' name. Because each time you see that person and you are hurting, it plays on you negatively. It hurts you, and then it sits in your unconscious mind, and it troubles you. And I don't want you to be troubled. So what does it even mean? Forgive that person and then forget. Don't get anything to do with that person. But don't make it a point of duty to always remember each time you see that person, because it will be hurting you more. Each time you remember the hurt, it hurts. Yes. So forgiveness means that you forget, you forgive, that is, you let go of anger, you let go of revenge, you let go of resentment, you let go of bitterness, and you let go of it in such a way that it doesn't trouble you even when you see that person. The act that hurts or offended you might always be with you. That is what I say. That thing that hurt or offended you might always be with you. It will always be with you. It may always be with you. But forgiveness can lessen its grip on you. That is it. You know, forgiveness lessens its grip on you. And then gradually, eventually, you forget. So that hurt may remain with you. But if you forgive that person truly from deep within, gradually you are going to forgive, you are going to forget, and you will let go of the pain. Yes, Boon Kyson, thank you, my dear. She says it can also be letting go in pain. Yes, let go. You can let go in pain. I have said that it is good to let go because it helps you. When you forgive, it lessens the grip on you, the grip of that hurt on you, and it helps free you from the control of that person who harmed you. When you are carrying a hurt from day to day, going around with anger and always hurting, what happens is that you are under the influence of that person. You are being controlled by that person. Because each time you see the person, you go back that day, you have a bad night. You will be quarreling with your people. You are transferring aggression to people because you are angry. You saw this bad face today. You know, that person will be controlling you. You will be under the grip of that person. And that person will be controlling you through your anger and through your unforgiveness. And then because you have not forgiven that person, you will become a slave to that person. Do you want to be a slave to someone? Do you have space in your mind to be carrying people around because they hurt you? My dear brothers and sisters, it is time for us to stop carrying this baggage that goes around with us and makes us not to be functional. When you are always angry or you are not forgiving, you are not functional because your space in your mind is limited for you to think and create things that can help you and your family. So forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing the harm done to you or making up with the person who caused the harm. That's not what it means. Forgiveness brings a kind of peace that helps you to go on with life and it helps you to forget. That is what forgiveness means. So forgiveness that I'm talking about here does not necessarily mean that you should just forgive and forget and then you excuse the person. No, that's not what it means. It means that you forgive that person from deep within. It will lessen the burden in you, and then gradually you will forget, and gradually you will excuse that person, and you will be fine. Christabel says to truly forgive, we need to forgive ourselves first for thinking that we were just weak or stupid to have fallen prey. Yes, when you forgive yourself, you create space for forgiveness of those who hurt you. Yes, my daughter, thank you for that. That is a very powerful point. When you forgive yourself, you are able to forgive others. Remember, you cannot give out what you don't have. You cannot give out forgiveness when you are not forgiving and you don't forgive yourself. When you are thinking that, well, I allowed myself, if I was not moving around with this girl, she wouldn't have been insulting me. Well, if I was not this would not have happened. No, you have to forgive yourself. Clotilde says it actually takes time to forget about something that hurt you. Yes, it's a gradual process. Forgetting something that hurt you is not an immediate issue. Anybody who says that it is automatic is lying. It comes gradually. And it comes from the fact that you have forgiven that person. Because when you forgive that person, you lessen the hurt that you have. Hey, Gerard Kanga, welcome. Thank you, my dear. Forgiveness is a prelude for you to forget eventually. When you forgive, you are released and the hurt in you is lessened. Then you are able to see that person with different eyeglasses. If you don't forgive, you will always carry that person around in your mind. You will always be hurting because you will always think that, well, this person did this. As Joel said, each time you see that person, you remember that this person did this or that or that. So my dear brothers and sisters, what I am saying is simple. Forgiveness is key to living a good life. When you forgive, it lessens your hurt. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing the person. It means giving off this hurt that is in you. It means it leads you to the feeling of understanding and empathy. You know, forgiveness helps you. Is the act that hurts you or offended you might always be there, as I said, might always be there with you. But forgiveness can lessen that act. it can lessen the grip of that act from you. The topic, my brother, is forgiveness. Joel says it is not better to be true than to pretend, because I rather not forgive and keep the person away than pretend and get upset each time I see him or her. And secondly, where was I? Because I rather not forgive and keep the person away than pretend and get upset each time I see him or her. And secondly, some people take that as a weakness. Someone will hurt you and go acting up. You are right, my dear. You are right. And the thing I'm saying is just that, talk to you. You have made a very good point. It is better not to pretend. If you pretend that you have forgiven somebody, but yet you see the person each time I remember it, you have not forgiven that person. Forgiving that person means that you have forgiven that person and you are trying to forget what that person did, and then you are trying to build up a better relationship, not with that person, but with people around you, such a way that you don't keep any hurt in you. And as Joel says, some people, when they hurt you, they will start acting up. You know, when somebody hurts me and is acting up, I leave you to yourself. It is your problem. You get over it, because it is actually your problem. If somebody hurts me and is acting up, is that person who knows why they're acting up? And I say, okay, you stay. Begin to act up. When you realize yourself, you will come back. And from experience, people who hurt me and act up, they always come back. Because I just let you be. And I concentrate on myself to forgive you truly, and then try to forget and move on. Christabel says, forgetting is wrong. Forgetting is wrong someone did to you. It's not erasing it from, forgetting a wrong someone did to you is not erasing it from ever happening. It only means growing up to that level where the thought of that act or words just leave you indifferent. Yes, exactly, my dear. Exactly. Topic is forgiveness. Forgiveness. Topic, forgiveness. And we say forgiveness is simply letting go of hurting feelings, of the spirit of revenge, of bitterness, and of anger. Letting go of something that somebody has done to you that makes you angry. Letting go of the idea that you want to revenge. That is the topic, my brother. So forgiveness is very important because it helps you. Damn, Emmanuel, welcome. Therefore, forgiveness does not mean that you have to forget or excuse. It's not forgetting or excusing the harm that the person did to you. No. Or does it mean making up with that person? It means forgiving that person so that you can move on. And when you forgive that person, it lessens the hurt that you have, and then it helps you to gradually forget what that person had done, and then you gradually move on, and it makes your life more beautiful. But there are, forgiveness brings a kind of peace that helps you go on with life. That is what I'm talking about. When you forgive, it brings an inner peace to you that makes you to be able to move on with life without being unnecessarily angry and unnecessarily hurt, or even necessarily hurt. It bugs you and it breaks you down. Forgiveness is medication for you and I. Forgiveness helps you and I. Please share the video and also comment. I'm waiting for comments from people who are pastors like Dabney Yerima. Now, what are the benefits of forgiving someone? Letting go of grudges and bitterness can make way for improved health and peace of mind. In fact, when you let go of bitterness and anger, it can make way for peace of mind, for good health. It can make way for peace of mind. It can make way for healthy relationships. There are many things that happens when you let go. And so forgiveness can lead you to the following. 1, healthier relationships. When you forgive, you develop healthier relationships with people, because you will not be resenting somebody so much to the extent that you don't even want to greet that person. When you forgive, you can greet the person, but you have nothing to do with that person. When you forgive, that person can say something somewhere, you smile over it. You can listen to that person sometimes, but you don't really relate with that person that much. But as I said, in a marriage, we have to forgive and do not keep a record of wrongs. You have to forgive and gradually forget. It takes time, but you can get there. It's easy if you develop the mindset to do so. And so forgiveness helps to build your relationships. It makes your relationships healthier. Therefore, it is important for us to forgive. It is important for you and I to forgive. Because when you forgive, the first thing that happens is, one, it makes your relationships healthier. You get healthier relationships. You are happy in your relationships. No matter what relationships you have, they are healthier when you forgive. Imagine in a couple, if you forgive, you will be happy with your spouse because you have forgiven each other. And then gradually you forget the hurt, and then you are living a happier life. The second point is it improves mental health. You don't break down your mind because something is bugging you in your mind every time you want to think of something. There is something that is bugging you. You know, when you are hurt, our minds snap our hurting feelings. Then they keep them in, they store them up in our subconscious mind. And then when your hurt remains there and you don't forgive, you don't have a healing process and your mind is troubled. But when you forgive, the healing process starts when you forgive. And then your mind gradually leaves that, releases that out, and then your mind is healthier. So when you don't forgive, you don't improve on your mental health. So my dear brothers and sisters, forgive so that you can improve on your mental health. One, forgive so that you can have healthier relationships. And then secondly, you improve on your mental health. The next thing is that you have less anxiety, less stress, and less hostility. There are some people who are naturally hostile. They are just automatically hostile. Even just their facial looks, they are hostile. It's because they have a spirit of unforgiveness. They have not forgiven the hurt that they have. They are carrying along a big basket of hurting feelings. When you have hurt in you and you don't forgive, I tell you, you are always stressed. You are having anxiety. You are hostile without knowing. Sometimes you wonder why you are behaving like this. But it is actually just because you are carrying along a load of hurt. You have not forgiven A, B, or C. And it is harming you. But you don't know. So when you forgive, in fact, you have less anxiety, you have less stress, and you are less hostile. Try it and see, my dear. Try, you'll see it. You'll be this person people want to come towards. You'll be this person people want to talk to because you are forgiving. It reflects on your facial looks. When you are not forgiving, it shows to people. The outside world know that there's something wrong with you, even though they may not deduce that it is because you are unforgiving. But there is something wrong on your face. There's something wrong on your reactions. There's something wrong in your replies to others. There's just something wrong about you because you have an unforgiving spirit. Forgiveness can lower blood pressure. Oh yes, you can say that again. Forgiveness lowers blood pressure. How does it do it? It lowers blood pressure because when you don't forgive, you have a lot of anxiety, you have a lot of stress, and when you are stressed, when you have anxiety, pressure follows. So when you forgive and you are less stressed, you are in less anxiety, what happens is that you are calmer and your blood pressure will not be high. It will lower your blood pressure and you'll be living happily. You will not have anxiety. Just try forgiving that person who has hurt you today and see how you'll be relaxed and see how you yourself will come out of the prison. Unforgivefulness, when you don't forgive, you are a prisoner in disguise because you are moving along with a lot in your mind. So try it today and see how it will help you. Just try it now where you are. Forgive that person you have been carrying along in your mind. Forgive that person and see how you will be relaxed because you have forgiven someone. It's very important. Forgiveness is very important. First, because it leads to healthier relationships. It leads to improved mental health. It leads to less anxiety, stress, and hostility. And when you have less anxiety, when you are not stressed, when you are not hostile, your blood pressure is stable. You will not have high blood pressure. And what does it do again? Fewer symptoms of depression. You will not be depressed. You will not have those symptoms of depression. In fact, when you forgive, you loosen yourself from many things. Many people who stay hurting, we call it cover pot. If you keep hurt for too long, once they come out like that, poof, and it causes a lot of trouble. You hear a stroke, you hear high blood pressure, you hear different types of illnesses that may come to you just because you have been keeping hurt for such a long time and the hurt has started playing back on you. So it is simple to forgive, my dear brothers and sisters. You forgive and gradually forget. It will help you. It will make you to loosen up. It will make you to live a beautiful life. It will make you to be happy. It will make you to be friendlier with people. It will make you to have healthier relationships. And it will lead to lower your blood pressure because you will not be stressed up. You will not be hostile. You will not have anxiety. You will live a happy life. In fact, it will make you not to be depressed. Symptoms of depression would fly away from you. You know, depression is the most dangerous thing on earth. When you are depressed, you can actually be so harsh on yourself. It will make you to forgive yourself when you forgive others. As Christabel said earlier, when you forgive others, when you forgive yourself, you are able to forgive others. Because you cannot give up what you don't have. Can you really give up what you don't have? No. So, my dear, forgiveness leads to fewer symptoms of depression. And forgiveness is a stronger immune system. You know, it leads you to a stronger immune system. When you are always angry, you don't forgive people. You are angry today, you keep the anger, you don't forgive. You are angry with B, you are keeping the hurt. You are angry with C, you are keeping the hurt. With D, you are keeping the hurt. What happens is that you are carrying a load that is so heavy. Very soon you start feeling pain on your shoulders. You start having pain on your neck. You start having feeling a type. It is because you have not forgiven those people who have hurt you. And for that reason, you will not have a strong immune system because your immune system is fragile. It is when you are so hurt, carrying hurt around, your immune system is vulnerable to that, and then you will be suffering. Divine says forgiveness has nothing to do with the severity of the hurt. Forgiveness does not have to be deserved. You cannot forget someone hurt you. However, what you do when you remember the hurt reveals whether you truly forgave that person or not. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you, Divine. Thank you so much, my brother. That's a very powerful statement. The way you react when you meet that person reveals whether you have forgiven that person or not. That is true. It reveals immediately if you had really truly forgiven that person or you had not. Hey, Stella, my beautiful Stella, welcome on board. Divine has said it all. When you forgive someone, it will reflect when you see that person. So just try it today and see. Forgive someone right now if you were hurting. Then when you meet that person, you will be sure that you have forgiven that person. Forgiveness improves your heart health and it improves your self-esteem. Forgiveness improves your heart health. It makes when you are angry, your heart beats faster. Can you imagine what happens when your heart is beating faster like that? It is hurting you. It is hurting you, not that person who is angry. Sometimes we are even angry with people who don't know that we are angry. Maybe somebody hurt you and then you were hurt. The person did not know you were hurt. The person walked away and is fine. And then when the person greets you, answer, that person is wondering what is happening. You know, so the good thing is for you to talk it over with that person. When you are hurt with someone, what do? Talk it over with that person. Don't go talking with A, B, and C. You are only hurting yourself. Talk over your hurt with the people who hurt you. Don't take your hurt to some other person. Welcome on board, my brother Hyson. And hello, greetings to your wife and the family. When you are hurting, if you hurt someone, If I hurt you and you don't come to me to talk it over with me so that we can make peace and then you forgive me and get going. If you go to B to talk about what Tilda did to you, you are not helping yourself. You are rather just spreading the news and then making the situation to be worse. So the best thing to do is when you are hurt, move to that person and then you forgive that person. Because when you forgive that person, you will free yourself. And as Divine said, when you next see the person, you will know how you felt because your feeling will be different. You will not feel, if you feel so angry when you see that person, it means that you have not forgiven that person. If you see that person and you feel different, you feel that you should talk it over with that person, it means that you have really forgiven the person and you want you to make peace. And as we are saying, making peace or forgiving somebody doesn't say that you have to tangle bad with the person. You have to go back and be friends with that person. No, it doesn't. It does not necessarily mean that. It means that you are free and your relationships are healthier. It means that your immune system is stronger. It means that your blood pressure will be lowered because you will not be stressed. You will not be hostile. It means several things. It means that your self-esteem is stronger. You improve your self-esteem if someone hurts you and you gather courage, go to that person and say, my brother or my sister, my dear, this thing that you did really hurt me. Please, I want us to talk over it so that we can better live in a peaceful environment. Even if I'm not your friend, I want us to have peace. When you talk like that, you make peace to yourself first. Remember what Christabel said earlier? We have to make peace with ourselves first. Because when you make peace with yourself first, what happens is that you will be able to give peace to other people. You'll be able to forgive other people. Forgiveness is very, very important. Now, let us quickly look at why is it so easy to hold a grudge. You know, it is very easy to hold a grudge, don't you? Because I know, that's true. It's very easy to hold a grudge. And it's so difficult to forget a grudge, to forgive and forget a grudge. But yet it's so easy to hold a grudge. You know, it is easy because being hurt by someone, particularly someone you love and trust, can cause anger, sadness, and confusion. Yes. Someone you love and trust, when they hurt you, it can cause real anger in you. It can cause sadness. It can cause frustration. In fact, it can cause real anger, and then it can make you to wonder if you should keep trusting that person or not. That is why it's easy to hold a grudge. You know, if you dwell on hurtful events or situations, grudges filled with resentment, vengeance, and hostility can take root in you. That is, if you keep dwelling on the hurtful events, on the situations that made you angry, on the grudges that you have, if you keep dwelling only on your grudges, on your hurts, I tell you, it can lead to a kind of resentment in you that is so difficult to change. It can lead to the desire for vengeance. Oh God, it can make you to become so hostile, and these things can get rooted in you and define who you are, different, and make you different from who you really are, from who God created you to be. So we need to watch out, because it's very easy to keep grudges. It's very easy to hold onto grudges. It's very easy to bear grudges and carry them around with you. But, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear daughters and sons, my dear friends, my dear parents, whoever is watching, when you keep that hurt in you and you are keeping it, and you are it will become so deep rooted in you, and it will make you to develop the spirit of vengeance. That is very dangerous. It will make you to become hostile. You know, if you allow negative feelings to crowd out positive feelings, oh God, you might find yourself swallowed up by your own bitterness and sense of injustice. Did you hear that? I read it again. If you allow negative feelings to crowd your positive feelings, you might find yourself swallowed up by your own bitterness or sense of injustice. It is very simple. It happens. That is what it means being human. But when you are human and you get to God and you hold onto his garment, he will help you to come out of this humanity that is packed full of unforgiveness, packed full of resentment, of bitterness, of vengeance, and things like that. Dabney writes, when you are angry because of hurt, it's likely carrying tons of dirt in your chest. Yes, you're right, my brother. This comes with more hurt, which gives birth to illness. A problem-free philosophy is the way to go. Hakuna Matata. Yes, I remember that word. It's like my stomach is not a warehouse. I will say it with love, forgiveness. That's it. It's like you don't want to become a warehouse, to carry hurt around, to have a baggage, to become a dustbin of people's hurts. And then you say it with love. Oh, you forgive. He has just defined forgiveness. Forgiveness is just like saying that, no, I am not a garbage bin. My stomach is not a store. And then you say it with love and say it out to that person. Yes, that is forgiveness. Then you walk up to that person and you say, look, I am really hurting because of this, that, and that. And I thought that I shouldn't keep it. I should share it with you so that we make peace and get going. You have forgiven that person. So, my dear, do you want to keep carrying grudges around? Thank you very much, Dabney Emmanuel. Share this video and I need more of your comments, please. It's very important that we have this because I learn a lot from all of you. Some people are naturally more forgiving than others. Yes, that's true. Sometimes I think I am. Some people are naturally more forgiving than others. That is true. But even if you are a grudge holder, almost anyone can learn to be more forgiving. Yes. Did you hear that? Some people are more forgiving than others. Yes. But even if you are that person who is a grudge holder, who carry grudges and refuses to forgive, if you are that person who is so resentful, who wants to revenge, you can learn how to be more forgiving. You can learn that attitude. In fact, you can learn how to be more forgiving because being forgiving is a virtue. You can learn it. Learn to be forgiving because forgiveness helps you first before that person you are forgiven. Forgiveness. Welcome, my brother, Mr. Nzo Celestine. We are talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness will help you more than the person you have forgiven. So, does it make sense for you to be holding grudges? Remember that when you hold grudges, it means that you are allowing negative feelings to crowd your positive feelings. And then you might just find yourself deep-rooted into or swallowed by bitterness. Your own bitterness will swallow you. And then you will start developing the sense of injustice. And you see yourself just doing what you condemn in the other person. So, my dear brothers and sisters, forgiveness is just simple. Telling the other person that you are my beleno bisto. I want us to fix it up. And you say it with love. Then you are forgiven. What are the effects of holding grudges? You know, when you hold grudges, what happens to you? There are many things. If you are unforgiving, you might bring anger and bitterness into every relationship and new experience. That is an effect. You may start bringing bitterness and grudges into every relationship that you have and into every experience. You see yourself always being moody, always being angry, always, you know, you will see yourself in a situation that you are always being hurtful, always angry. Hey, Mama Talaku, welcome, Christy. I knew that you were on live stream when I started. You're welcome. When you bear grudges, our topic is on forgiveness. When you bear grudges, the effects are that you might bring anger into every relationship, anger and bitterness into every of your relationship or every new experience. You will bring bitterness and anger to that if you keep grudges. If you are unforgiving, that is what will happen. If you run A because you are angry with them and you don't want to forgive them and you go to B and you are not careful, if you don't forgive A, you will see yourself bringing unforgiveness and bringing bitterness to your relationship with B. So we have to be careful. If you keep holding on to grudges, you will become so wrapped up in the wrong that you can't enjoy the present. Yes, you become so wrapped up in that wrong and you will not be able to enjoy the present. Do you want to live like that? I say no, because me, myself, I don't want to live like that. So what happens is that we have to start living off those evils. What is love? Live off various evils. And various evils are what? Grudges fall among various evils. If you bear a grudge because you were angry with somebody hurt you, my dear, live off that hurt. Because if you don't leave it up, you will bring anger into your new relationships. You will bring anger into your family. You will be hostile to your children for no reason, or to your spouse. You will be hostile to your friends for no reason. You will be doing what they call transfer aggression. And then eventually you will become so wrapped up in this and you will not be enjoying your present life. You will not enjoy everything that comes to you because you are bitter. The third point is that you will become depressed and you will be anxious. And then it will open the door for high blood pressure, for strokes, for many things. You will find yourself in trouble if you are unforgiving. We have to be forgiving. Forgiving is a virtue. Forgive, and then it will heal the process and you will gradually forget. When you forgive, it will heal you, and gradually the healing process starts with forgiveness. And then gradually you will forget and you will get going with your life. You must not become a friend of that person again, but you are free. Forgiveness is an antidote. It helps. It suits you. It makes you to be healthier. Now, when you hold on to grudge, you become depressed and anxious. You feel that your life lacks meaning of purpose, or that you are at odds with your spiritual beliefs. Oh, yes, Christabel, you may become a gossip. Yes, because everywhere you see, you want to tell people, you want to justify why you are not talking with A or B, and in justifying, you are gossiping A or B. You see the web. If you bear grudges, you will become a gossip. It is true. As simple as that. You become a gossip. And when you become a gossip, it becomes very dangerous because you will start feeling that you lack meaning or purpose. You will start feeling that you are not living a beautiful life because everybody will start calling you a gossip. Whereas you were trying to express a hurt. Why? Because you did not forgive that hurt. So it is but simple. You need to forgive. Because when you forgive, you will not be caricaturized as a gossip. Because in your mind, you're trying to justify why you are not talking with A or B. But in the minds of the people you talk to them, you are a gossip. Yes, Christabel, as simple as that. You may become a witch hunter. People will look at you as witch hunting. Whereas you were just trying to maybe express the fact that, no, you see, I'm not talking with Tilda because Tilda did this. Do you think if they did this to you, will you forgive just like that? Don't you think that I was right? Yes, you were right, and so what? You were right, but in order to be able to move on, forgive that person, and if possible, talk it over with that person so that you can help that person to be right next time. If you hold grudges, you lose value. You lose valuable and enriching connectedness with others. When you have grudges, you lose valuable relationship with people. You are not able to connect with people of value. You are not able to connect with people who can help you and you help them. And you will not be able to be that role model that people want you to be. That person that people are looking up to. You will not be able, because people will be wondering, why are you so bitter? Why is there so much bitterness around you? Christabel says, and you may be exposing a part of someone that nobody see like you, and you become the problem. Yes, that has happened to many people. You go trying to justify why you are angry with somebody, and then you are exposing something that people don't even see, and then the people will see you like a gossip, as a killer. They will say, this person, I did not know that this is how you are. Remember the other day we said that when you talk about people, when you gossip, when we were talking about gossiping, we said when you gossip, you are just telling people that you are like that. If you go telling people that A is a talkative, it means that you are talkative too. If not, how did you know that A was talkative? If you say that A steals, then you must be a thief too. How did you know that they steal? You know, there are things like that. We need to be careful what we do. So how do I reach a state of forgiveness? We have 48 minutes gone. We have 12 more minutes, and very soon we'll go out. But we will end with, how do I reach a state of forgiveness? Very important. Forgiveness is a commitment. It's a commitment to a personalized process of change. That is forgiveness. To move from suffering to forgiveness, you might do the following. You might recognize the value of forgiveness and how it can improve your life. Because forgiveness is a commitment that you personally take to improve your life. So forgiveness, if there is one thing we should take home today, is the fact that forgiveness is a personal commitment that you take to improve on your life. And when you do that, you recognize the value of forgiveness and how it can improve on your life. Because when you start forgiving, it improves on your life. You are happier, you are healthier, and you live a better life with people. Now, when you forgive, when you reach the state of forgiveness, you have to identify what needs healing and who needs to be forgiven and for what. You must identify what needs healing, who needs to be forgiven, and for what, so that it can help you. Dabney Yerima says, unforgiveness keeps you in a closet, and you miss blessings you might come along. You may come along, yeah. Live life because Christ is life without hate, hurt, and heartedness. Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. That is very important. Unforgiveness keeps you in a closet, and then keeps you in the dustbin. You become a dustbin. You carry things that people don't even want to see you because of that. So we have to forgive and move on. And if you reach a state of forgiveness, you will see that you recognize that forgiveness is a very good thing that will help improve on your life. You will be able to identify what you need to heal from, and who you need to forgive and for what, and you will forgive them. You will be able to consider joining a support group or seeing a counselor. Sometimes if you are so unforgiving, it's good for you to see someone who can counsel you and help you to be forgiving. It's very important. It will help you. And you are able to acknowledge, you have to acknowledge your emotions about the harm done to you and how it has affected your behavior, and work to release them. If you don't acknowledge that this harm that was done to you is affecting you negatively, you may never even change. Sometimes when you carry around hurting feelings, they play on your output. You are not able to function well, even in your home, in your workplace, even on the way when you walk, even in the way you relate with people. You will not function well. It will affect you because you are hurting. So you have to evaluate. You have to acknowledge your emotions. You have to acknowledge that when I'm hurting, I am not functional. My output is poor. You have to acknowledge this. Some of us pretend. Don't pretend about it. Be true to yourself. Acknowledge that your emotions are deep when you are hurt. Because when you do that, you will help yourself. When you do that, you will help yourself and you become a better person. So please try to become a better person. Acknowledge your state of mind in the situation of hurt and move on. You have to choose to forgive the person who offended you. Forgive. Choose to forgive. It's a decision, a personal decision to improve on who you are, to improve on your life. If you choose to forgive, it's a personal decision. And when you choose to forgive, know that you have chosen the right way. Because when you forgive, it helps you to function better. You have to move away from your role as victim. This is what Christabel said earlier, that you have to forgive yourself as victim. Yes, the best way to move towards forgiveness is that you have to move away from your role as victim. Stop playing the victim. Move away from your role as victim and then release the control and power. Release that control of that person and power over you. Release it and then move on. You have to release that influence that this hurt is having over you. And then you move on. Yeah? Release that power of the person offending you and even find compassion and understanding. You have to do it. It's very important. Thank you, Clement. You have to release it, because when you are angry, it is working on you. You have to take a personal decision. Decide that I want to start being forgiving. Because when you start being forgiving, it helps you. It doesn't help me. It helps you. It doesn't help the person who hurts you. It helps you first. And you have to stop playing the victim. Then you start building on your self-esteem. And you become somebody who is reasonable. So, as you let go of grudges, when you let go of grudges, my brothers and sisters, you will no longer define your life by how you have been hurt. You might even find compassion and understanding, because you will no longer define your life by how you have been hurt. That is true. When you forgive, as long as you let go of grudges, you will no longer define your life by how you have been hurt. You will define your life by forgiving other people, being free, and then not remaining in the closet. As our brother says, remember that unforgiveness keeps you in the closet and makes you to miss out on your blessings when they come. When God comes, he may meet you gossiping because you were trying to tell somebody about your hurt. When he meets you in that state, he will not bless you. He may meet you being so bitter because you refuse to forgive someone. If God meets you in that state, he will not bless you. So life is about forgiving people. And as Dabney Yerima said, live life because Christ is life, without hate, without hurt, without hard-heartedness. Live life because Christ died for our sins, even when he was not a sinner. Live life because you have the image of God in you, and you have to reflect it in everything you do. And you cannot reflect it if you're carrying around hurts every day and everywhere. Live life because you are that person who should, because Christ in you is that person who will control you to behave well. So how is your life in Christ? How do you relate with God? Do you relate in such a way that will help you to be forgiving? In such a way that forgiveness will be your portion? That forgiveness will be your way of life? Or you relate in such a way that hurting feelings remain what you want to have? Forgive people and move on, my dear brothers, my dear sister, my dear daughter, my dear son, my dear friend, my dear parent. Forgive people and move on, because you will be more healthy. People ask me, what is your secret? Why are you always smiling? It's because I've chosen to forgive. I've chosen not to be angry. I've chosen that when you hurt me, I forgive you and move on. Because forgiveness is key to life. Unforgiveness will keep you in the closet. Unforgiveness will make you not to forgive yourself, as Christabel said. So forgive yourself and forgive people around you. Remember, try to sit now and do an evaluation as we go towards closing. Evaluate yourself. Earnestly evaluate yourself and see who has hurt me. Who am I still hurting towards such that I've not forgiven? What was the hurt? Analyze it. Forgive that person. And when next you meet that person, your reaction towards that person will make you know that you have truly forgiven that person. Yes, try it and you will know it. Your reaction towards people who are hurting, who have hurt you, will make you know if you have forgiven those people or not. It's easy. Learn to count from 1 to 10 when you are getting angry. If possible, get to 100. Why not 200? If that can help you to calm down and forgive that person. Remember, we are talking about forgiveness. And we have said that when you forgive, you loosen up. You take away a lot of baggage from your system and you help yourself. We have said that forgiveness is simple. It simply means giving up the past hurts. Forgiveness means letting go of grudges and bitterness and not developing the spirit of vengeance. That is what forgiveness means. And we have said that when you forgive, you have healthier relationships, you have improved mental health, you have less anxiety, less stress, and less hostility. You are not hostile. You have low blood, your blood pressure is lowered. You have few symptoms of depression. When you forgive, you have a stronger immune system. We have said that when you forgive, you have improved, your heartbeat is improved, and you have improved self-esteem. We have said that you hold onto a grudge simply because when somebody you love and trust hurts you, you are so shocked that you carry this thing around. But know that if you don't forgive, if you allow negative feelings to crowd your positive feelings, you might soon see yourself swallowed up by your own bitterness. And when you are swallowed by your bitterness, or your sense of injustice, it becomes very dangerous for you. So we have said that some people are naturally forgiving, and some people are naturally not so unforgiving. But you can learn to be forgiving. It is easy to learn to be forgiving. We have also said that forgiveness, when you forgive, is a first step to healing. And when you forgive, you can gradually forget the hurt. And then you will see yourself not keeping a record of wrongs. So my dear brothers and sisters, remember that you can reach a state of forgiveness if you recognize the value of your forgiveness and how it can improve on your life. If you decide to consciously improve on your life, it's a personal decision. You can reach a state of forgiveness if you identify what needs healing and who needs to be forgiven by you and for what, and you move on to forgive. You can reach a state of forgiveness if you consider joining or looking for somebody who can help you to know how to forgive, a counselor. You can reach a state of forgiveness if you acknowledge your emotions about the harm done to you. If you acknowledge that they're affecting your behavior, they're affecting you're affecting your output, they're affecting the way you relate with people. If you acknowledge this, you will reach the state of forgiveness. And it will help you. You can reach a state of forgiveness if you chose to forgive the person who offended you, and if you chose to move away from your role as a victim and release the control and power of the offending person, and then you decide to live a happy life. Thank you so much for those people who were here. Thank you for those who have contributed. We have to keep contributing. Thank you for those who shared the video. God bless you. Thank you for those who gave so beautiful ideas. Forgiveness is a virtue. I pray that all of us develop it, because it is not for that person who has harmed you. It is for you first. And remember, when you forgive, it's a first step to the healing process that will lead you to forget that hurt, and then you will not be keeping a record of wrongs. Thank you so much. Share the video and let's keep the discussion going. I am just stopping from the live chat, but we will keep chatting on the comment box. It's very important. We'll keep chatting. Some people are just joining in now, but I'm checking out. Please listen to the video and comment. Thank you. It's 2 o'clock here, and I'm sure it's 7 p.m. in Cameroon. Bye-bye. I love you all. Bye-bye.